first of all, Margie and Spencer lived across the street from where we live there on New High. In
Okay.
the firehouse.
Right.
Now, Margie and Spencer, they when I knew them, all the time I knew them, they was always selling a house and buying another one. But
Right.
anyway, this house that they lived in was a shotgun house, and it only had 3 rooms in it. 'Cause I've been in there's about 3 or 4 houses along there that was just alike. And this
Mhm.
one house, this lady that I knew real well, Duval, she worked, and she had, and her son, actually she called him her brother, but we knew it was her son. But
Mhm.
she had, washed his clothes, and she wanted them ironed. Back then you had to iron, and you didn't have anything to get the wrinkles out. So
Right.
she had me come over there and iron his shirts and clean up her house. And, I was like maybe 14.
Hmm.
And, she paid me. I don't remember what she paid me, but it was, pretty good back then. Or maybe next door. It was one of the houses that
Right.
Marge and Spencer lived in. And Miss Carter and Ott stayed there with them. I think Ott had came home from the service and
Okay.
maybe didn't have a place to go. I don't remember exactly how it was, but anyway, he really didn't meet right then. But I remember Margie telling me later that she told Ott about seeing me over there, and that he should be interested in me. Well, anyway, we both got a job down at Douglas Bent. That was right down there on Boxley, but it was right across from Mr. Rose's house, Helm Street.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Okay, that's where. Now I don't know which one of us went to work first, but I worked down there. Me and a girl, we worked on this machine that made boxes, not boxes. That's the other place I'm thinking about, boxes. This is where we made these plastic things for chairs. You had to work on this machine. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I mean, I remembered it. I knew it then, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But we worked on this machine where it made these plastic things, maybe to hold it to build the chairs. I don't know exactly how it was. You don't know. You don't need to know.
Yeah.
That,
well,
except
that's,
that I worked there and Ott worked there. I don't know which
okay.
one worked first, but
Yeah.
that's really where we met.
Or was there...
Really, we wasn't. I mean, we went pretty steady, but wasn't anything about getting married or no ring. We never did have a ring. He went and bought when we getting ready to get married, which was probably only a couple months before we got married. He went and got a cheap ring. He didn't make much money, and
right.
Yeah, he asked me. I mean, we had talked about it, but nothing was ever said. And nothing was ever thinking that we would or just talked about it. But
right.
I was working at Armour Creamery, and I don't know if you know where that is or not, but where it was,
no.
I think the building's still there. When you go down Florida Street, you remember where the macaroni, I guess, was, or do you?
Not really.
Well, if you go down Florida Street before you get to the railroad there, well, since it's all been changed.
Yeah.
But anyway, see, I worked for a long time before I ever knew Ott at the macaroni. Well, for about a year. Back then, you could get a job about anywhere. That's during the war
Yeah.
part.
Sure.
But anyway, I was working at Armour Creamery. That's where they make butter,
Okay.
and that's where I was working. That's where my cousin on my dad's side, her name was Houchin, Mary Frances. I remember her name, and it was my dad's brother's daughter. The only one I ever knew, and since her name was Houchin, we got to know who our fathers were.
Wow.
But anyway, back then I would walk home from the creamery up over the hill to New High.
Mhm.
And there was a hill there, and it had a path up it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, one day or one afternoon when I got off from work, I was on my way home. About halfway up the hill, there was Ott waiting for me. And I think we'd had an argument, or I don't remember exactly, but he was waiting for me. Well, naturally, I stopped, and we started talking, and he said, I want us to get married. I guess I don't remember if he asked me or if he just said, let's get married, or I don't remember how it was.
Right.
One night, I guess it was Saturday night, I don't remember for sure, but I think it was. And told him we wanted to get married. Mamie and Bill was with us.
Yep.
And we just went in there and told them we wanted to get married, so they invited us in, him and his wife. Jones was her name.
Yeah. That's cool. That was 74 years ago.